manifest every single day. And I'm like, really? Like that happened?
It works.
It works.
You need to stop speaking your financial scarcity into existence by repeatedly saying, I'm so broke.
$1 million will appear on my desk. $1 million will appear on my desk. $1 million will appear on my desk. Oh, man. Welcome to another episode of Financial Decoder. In this episode, we'll be talking all about manifesting money and a little bit of the worst financial decisions and advice that people have received. Just want to reiterate, this is my opinion on stuff. I'm here just to talk about some of these crazy videos that I see, give you my opinion on it, and hear what you guys have to say about the matter. This first video dives into the manifesting money mindset, coupled with a little bit of bad advice. Let's take a look.
You need to stop speaking your financial scarcity into existence by repeatedly saying, I'm so broke, I can't afford this, I can't do that, I'm never going to be able to afford that. While that may be true in your case and in your life right now, speaking according to those technicalities keeps you living in technical land. And we don't want to live in technical land, we want to live in abundance land. So you need to switch what you're saying, even if it's not technically true for the reality you're living right now, because we're trying to manifest what we want, not just tolerate and accept what we've been given.
Well, that feels a little crazy to me. We want to manifest what we want, not just tolerate what we're given. Hopefully I don't have to tell you that wishing to manifest money will not manifest money. Yes, it's important and it can be very helpful to have a positive mindset framed around your actions, around your feelings, around your ideas pertaining to money. Straight up saying that money will appear and manifesting it, willing it into existence is not something that happens. A lot of times you'll hear from TikTok and Instagram and Facebook creators talking about a story that they heard pertaining to someone did something crazy and they started manifesting an idea or a goal or an ambition or even money in certain cases, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere this freak occurrence happened and a check appeared in the mail for the exact amount that they were manifesting. Or you'll hear something like, oh, they were manifesting that this person would be at the airport at this time, and then lo and behold they went to the airport and the person was there. These stories that you're hearing are fake.
Oh, Squidward.
And if they are not fake, they are an extreme coincidence. There are things that happen in this world that could be considered manifesting, right? Things that happen coincidentally that might have lined up with an ambition or a goal or a desire, and people interpret that as manifesting, but that's not how it works.
Get a load of this guy.
So hearing someone who says, ignore your reality, ignore the situations that you're in, don't speak about the situations that you're in, don't acknowledge it, but rather instead only think and speak about the things that you want is a little bit of a concern for me. The takeaway that I'd like you to get from that is that companies don't accept manifestation as a payment. Sure, if you decide to go into things with a positive mindset and you end up getting whatever it is that you wanted to out of that positive mindset, that's good, that's great. You can't pay bills with manifesting mindsets. This next video goes a little bit more into the manifesting storytelling that I was saying before. And I want you to try and catch something in this video that I'm sure you will, but keep an eye out for it.
I was manifesting $16,000 to pay off my debt. And it was the end of the 30 days and I hadn't, I hadn't paid off the debt. If anything, I was more in debt. And I was like, what the fuck? And then she's like, but I held the vision. I kept doing the formula. I kept doing the work. And then she said, literally the day after I finished the Abundance Academy, so wild, I had a bonus come in from a previous work that never got paid to me.
I love this stuff.
And it was and she's like, guess how much it was? And she's like, 16,300 and blah, 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 the exact number. And I was like, obviously that's such a crazy story. And even
That's
me
amazing.
who I, manifest every single day. And I'm like, really? That happened? But
It works.
it works.
Another video about manifesting. What did I tell you? People will try to sell you stories that prove that they're right or that whatever they're associated with are right, right? Did you hear what she said in the video? She said, the day after this person in the story finished the Abundance Academy. Gee, I wonder what that could be.
I don't know.
Maybe a course that these people are trying to sell or promote. I think you see where I'm going with this. People that make these kinds of stories do so to try to drive home an emotion or a feeling about something, whether it be a philosophy, an idea, a course, a class, a book. In this case, she was clearly trying to sell or promote this class and decided to share this story that, even if that did happen, was absolutely just a coincidence, which I doubt it happened. She was saying that story to get these viewers to buy into the idea of manifestation. The final thing I'd like you to take away from that one is that hard work will always beat wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is nice. It's okay and healthy to have a positive mindset about things, especially things that are stressors in your day-to-day life. Only wishful thinking will not get you where you want to be. It will not get you the things that you want. It hasn't in my experience. Hard work, always greater than manifesting. Well, alligator, chomp chomp. And that's how you know it's the bigger side, because chomp chomp, it wants to eat the bigger thing because it's hungry. Anyway, on to this next video. We're going to hear about some bad financial advice that people have received over the years.
What's the worst financial advice you've ever heard?
Move to New York City. After you take cash out, it doesn't count as money because you already took it out.
Buy low, sell high. There is always a high to the low and a low to the high.
Opening up a credit card line when you're working a minimum wage job and you're in college debt.
Wow. A lot to digest with that one. So one of the first ones, opening up a line of credit while you're a minimum wage worker and still in college, that's not necessarily bad. What you do with that line of credit is what will make it either good or bad, right? If I take out, let's say, a student credit card, understanding that I'm only going to put gas on it and then pay that gas off immediately, that would be fine.
Okay, that's cool.
But if I'm going to take out that credit card, go down to the mall, buy one of everything from every store, not so fine.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
One of the pieces of advice was move to New York City. Not a super helpful and strong piece of financial advice, but I guess technically a piece of advice nonetheless. Obviously, don't just move to New York City and expect that your finances are going to be all sorted and in order, because that's not how it works, I think. The comment about after you take cash out, it doesn't count is... I hear this all the time, and I understand the concept behind it, and sometimes I will even participate in that mindset, specifically when I'm like, oh, I'm going to budget to take out $200 or whatever amount, and I'm going to use that for whatever I want this week. The mindset needs to be, I'm giving myself this cash to be able to use somewhere, anywhere, and it's already budgeted for. Not, hey, I took out this cash, so it doesn't really count as me spending my money anymore. The first way of viewing it is much healthier financially, and it allows for you to still have that guilt-free feeling as long as it's accounted for. You taking money from yourself and then saying that you didn't take money from yourself to yourself is not good. Overall, some pretty meh financial advice. Definitely not the best that I've heard, hence why it's in a compilation for bad advice. Let's listen to this next one and see what they have to say.
Today we're hitting the street to ask people what is the worst financial advice they've ever received.
I think maybe lack of advice, not knowing about saving earlier, kind of like investments and things like that.
What comes around goes around. That's not true. You should start a savings plan as early as you can. Tax-free savings account. For sure.
What is the worst financial advice you've ever received?
I'm going to go with the best financial advice I've ever received, which I did not take, but from my mom, which was to buy a house as early as possible. The earlier the better. Yeah, like I said, I did not take that advice, and I wish I did. Okay,
so that last one where the lady completely ignored the question and decided to go with the best piece of advice that she didn't listen to, I mean, kind of along the same line-ish. She said that the advice that she got was to buy a house as early as possible, and that she didn't do it and she regrets it. This is not always the best option for people. Maybe in her life, she looked back and realized that that would have been a good decision to make and did not move forward with it. The other two pieces of advice pertain to saving. That seemed like pretty solid advice.
Perhaps you're right.
They talked about how the saying of what goes around comes around is not always true, especially in the financial realm, especially with money. That's the sort of thing that people are not willing to just give around. You feel? And the first piece of advice regarding starting a savings account or savings in some form, whether it's in stocks or whatever, that makes sense. That's good advice. Well, I kind of wish that these people had watched some of these videos that I've been making. I feel like I'm giving out pretty good advice. I'm not a professional with it all, but I like to think that I have a good concept and a good grasp on things, and I like to share my opinion about it. So please tell me about your opinions on these videos and relating subjects to it in the comments down below. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Financial Decoder. I had a blast looking at these videos with you all, and I'll see you all next time.